So I wanted to share with you today the behind the scenes of everything that goes into making a certified organic cotton teddy bear, certified fair trade. I learned some new things about what the fair trade symbol means. I think you might find that a little surprising. We see it a lot, but what does it really mean? We talked about his herbal dye that he developed for California Baby and Sunny Bear. This bear is dyed with plant material. And so I hope that this gives you a better understanding of, plush toys, meaning like, teddy bears and also textiles. What does it mean to have an organic textile and why it's important, especially for a teddy bear that is a BFF to your babe, to your little baby who was probably going to be chewing on these ears, going to be dragging it around and sleeping with it and inhaling it. So it's a wonderful collaboration, and I wanted to share with you. And I hope that you learned something new. And I hope that you enjoy the podcast. Today, my guest is Vijay Pratap. Vijay is the co-founder of Bears for Humanity, a company he and his wife founded, Renju. They started it in 2014. Bears for Humanity is the only company to make GOTS certified organic plush toys in the world. One of 330 companies in the world to be fair trade certified. And that's a big deal. As of 2020, Bears has donated over $1 million in teddy bear value to children in need through their Buy One, Give One program. Bears for Humanity customers include United Airlines, National Parks and Zoos, the United Nations, and with this most recent collaboration, California Baby. Welcome, Vijay.
Awesome. Thank you, Jessica. Just excited to be here.
Yes, thank you. And another part of your bio that I wanted to start off talking about is that you were actually, before you started Bears for Humanity, you were in the tech world. And so can you talk a little bit about that, the tech world to plush teddy bears?
Absolutely. I think just like anybody else, I didn't start out to start a teddy bear company or an apparel.
That wasn't your dream growing up? Oh, I wish I could start a teddy bear company. What did you want to be? What was your goal? Because you went to, you got a master's of science degree from DePaul University, and you graduated with honors, I may add. And so what were you going to school for?
Well, what I went to school for is high tech and computer science and organizational management and international relations. I really loved and enjoyed going to school. I'm one of those people who likes reading, who likes library, I should say. And mind you, I didn't grow up with a TV, so I didn't, so I grew up in a different environment where I didn't have any video games or anything. So school is something that I like. Even today, I can go back to school and I'll be perfectly fine sitting in the library.
Okay, so let me cut in and tell everybody why we're here today, and then we can come back because I think that relates specifically to the excellence that you've been doing with these teddy bears. So this is Sunny. This is Sunny Bear. It's a teddy bear. It's an all organic teddy bear, plant dyed with plant dyes. The eyes and the nose are sewn, and we had ours custom done with a beautiful like a burgundy color, which is very chic. And then you did this little pocket for us for little treasures or for little product sample.
I did a lot of research about California Baby before I started Bears for Humanity. I looked at companies three companies I looked at. One is Tom Shoes, one is Whole Foods, and one is California Baby.
Wow.
After that, I did extensive research on also Starbucks model. So it's very important, and
Why
I
did you
always give credit.
include California Baby? Because those are big companies. And although California Baby, I've been told, actually, I was told by somebody at Apple, small company, big brand. So why did you come and use us as one of your models? Which is the first time I've heard this, by the way.
Yeah, and I think it's important that our your viewers and your supporters, your fans, and your customers know the authentic story behind and coming from a founder from a garage to where we are today for a couple of reasons. One, I in the 90s when you started, early 90s when you started California Baby, and mind you, this might sound a little odd because I'm telling your own story. It is a little bit odd, but in the 90s, what it is I read through the story of your how from a kitchen trying to put ingredients together, working with plants and vegetables and flowers, and how your child was allergic and not reacting well to chemicals that led to where we are today. So, but I also looked through extensively on you know, how step by step you've built the farm, how you're vertically aligned. It has not been an easy journey, right? We are looking at 25 plus years of hard work of where the brand is today. And I put that and I combined your knowledge and your history doing research, and also we use your products extensively even today for my twins, right? My twins were born in 2013, mind you, so it all coincided with everything else. And California Baby was the go-to for the shampoo and skincare products for my children. And reading helps when you go and know the label, find the origin of how did this founder build this. And I looked at the
But was that
90s.
because you wanted to build a company that was similar, or what was your
Absolutely.
goal? Okay.
I would be, it is a California Baby's origin is very similar to Whole Foods origin. The whole founders of the Whole Foods in the 80s, they didn't get up in the morning and say, we're going to be one day the Whole Foods market. They started earnestly that there is a need and we're going to bring fresh fruits and vegetables without chemicals and pesticides from the market, from the farm to the door. They went through lots of trials and tribulations. There's no difference between that
But
formula and what California Baby
how
did.
did you get to teddy bears though? I mean, because it's kind of random in a way. Or was it
It is
not
random.
random for you? Was it personal for you? Because when I started California Baby, it was very personal. It was an extension of my lifestyle. When I saw the ingredients on the shampoo that I was using on my son, and saw that many of the ingredients were listed as carcinogens, and then nobody seemed to care or look for a solution. That's what drove me. um, and so, what drove you to make incredible, beautiful, safe, non toxic plush toys?
Well, there are two. There's a business and a personal. From a personal perspective, um, my children were born and I was looking for everything authentic, chemical, pesticide free, and organic. And it's a $24 billion industry of toys, all kinds of toys. And 99% of them come from China and they're made with fossil fuels, burning fossil fuels and polyester. And they have anti flame retardants.
They
I
put it,
didn't want to give that.
stop 1 second there. So, most plush toys, because I know pajamas, a lot of sheets have a flame retardant put on, which is crazy in my mind to have your child sleeping in pajamas with a flame retardant finish or a formaldehyde finish to take out the wrinkles or whatever it is. But does that also happen in the plush toys that you give your child to hug and chew on?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The reason is otherwise polyester, when you burn polyester, it burns like charcoal and basically it'll go into the skin. So anti-flame retardants are put on polyester either at the yarn layer when they're doing the dyeing, they dip it into anti-flame retardants or spray. But the spray, there's a stickiness. But when you dye it within the dye of the yarn layer, you still can achieve the smoothness without you knowing as an end user. You are hugging it, touching it, licking it, chewing it, everything else. But the reason they do that is the plush will not catch fire.
Well, or it
And if it
will, or
catches
it'll
fire,
burn. It will catch fire, or it'll burn slower. Because
it's lower and you can put it off. That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
Now, that was one of the reasons. The second reason was at that time, I was at the crossroads of my life. What is the crossroad? Hey, listen, do I want to be working for $20 or $30 stock company, being the person who is running around global operations and, basically being part of the high-tech slave world, making more and more and more money for a set of investors? And the previous company that I worked for, that was acquired. And we're all in line, we're a number, and at the end of the day, what I felt a post-acquisition, okay, now what? Now another leadership role in another company, but doing the same thing, working for another master.
So you probably had a pile of money at the end of that acquisition, and you decided to do something with it. Is that it?
It's just not money. It is about
what made
years
you change?
of depression.
What is
years of depression?
Okay.
It's about I very authentically talk about this.
From working just for money and not working for a purpose. Is that what you? I don't want to put
exactly. So no, it is. I come from a family of great humanitarians.
Okay.
And what I felt
from where were you born in this country, or where's your family from? Can you give us a little history?
My family is from India, and my father grew up with one of 12 brothers and sisters, and he was an iconic banker and a human being. It's very highly regarded in the business community. I was caught in a bubble of me.
Did you have an aha moment of, this is what I'm going to do with my life, this is what I'm going to pivot to?
Absolutely. The aha moment was building since 2010, because I'm a child of therapy. And after years of therapy in Stanford, it just came to me that I am wandering in the desert of life, trying to quench my thirst with something that is unquenchable.
Okay.
What does that mean? I'm looking for an oasis filled with water and dates, but that cannot quench what I really want. What do I really want is peace. And how do I get peace? The only way I can get is by giving back, uplifting people. So once that dawned on me, I just went ahead and said, my wife had a great experience with a teddy bear. And we were just one day talking about, she still has that old teddy bear at home that her brother gave her. And then just basic, it led to me. And I said, okay, very much like Tom's shoes. And then I looked at, are there any organic products available and everything else? So there are $1 billion worth of teddy bears are sold every year. Everything is polyester made in sweatshops.
And none of them, and that's how I came to find you, because this is interesting, because I had no idea that you knew of California Baby. I had no idea that you were following our company. And I actually found Bears for Humanity because I was looking for an alternative to the polyester synthetic toxin-laden teddy bears that were on the market. And really, there were no organic teddy bears. I had found a bamboo little toy But bamboo has its own issues with processing. Um, and then that no longer became available. And so trying to find an organic teddy bear that was certified, because of course, as you know, and maybe you can talk a little bit about this, um, people can say whatever they want. I'm sure there's tons of companies out there that say that their plush toy is organic, and they can say whatever they want. There's a lot of greenwashing out there, but the difference is the certification. This is what is impressive about what you're doing, because I know how hard that is. I know just from our end, the vigilance that it takes, this just the sticking to it, the added cost, and also you're pioneering a new product, right? It's more expensive. Our teddy bear is more expensive, but there's value in that teddy bear. So tell me a little bit about how difficult it was for you to source the organic. I know India has been doing organic cotton for since the 80s, the 90s. They were one of the first. I don't know if they were certified. Maybe you can tell me a little bit of your experience going down that road.
Absolutely. So first of all, let's just take this beautiful sunny, which is right there, and I'll just utilize sunny as an example. And I have another beautiful pink bear here too. Obviously, I'm biased to sunny.
Me too. Me too.
What is so special? Oh, he's just a darling. And what makes Sunny is so awesome is what is organic cotton, right? 47% of organic cotton in the world comes from India.
I believe that.
Only 2% of the arable lands in the entire world is organic.
Yeah.
It is scary. And what is the rest? It is Monsanto GMO, the most harmful pesticides, chemical filled
because
organic
cotton needs a lot of pesticides, right? Why does it need? Does it grow fungus, or what's the reason? Because I do know that it's a very dirty fabric or material.
It is. So the whole premise of Monsanto GMO cotton is it requires more water.
It requires more water, not less water.
Not less water. It's actually the other way around. Now, second one, hey, our seeds, the biomodified seeds, they are resistant to worms that eat the cotton, for example.
So worms eat the cotton. That's what the pesticides are, to kill the worms.
Exactly. But what has happened is it's other way around. What do worms do? They adapt. And to do that, the conventional companies came up with, oh, you need these advanced pesticides now to kill the worms, right?
Now, are these are not the worms that are living in the soil. These are specific worms that are a pest. They bore up into the plant. Is that what they do?
Correct.
Okay.
Right? And they're eating and they're part of the plant itself. And now what has happened is it has led to the damage of the soil, right?
Which organic is all about building the soil, right? So organic is you build the soil, you have a strong, healthy soil, you have a strong, healthy plant that can defend itself without pesticides.
You got it. And there's a other side effect of the conventional GMO modified. What is that? The heavy pesticides are causing skin cancer to the farmers.
Is that prevalent in India or wherever?
Huge in India. Everywhere around the world, this is the dirty secret nobody wants to talk about. What is it? And then there's another piece of it, right? So when it comes to what makes this organic special is organic cotton is everything opposite to that. What is that? It's natural. So in India, and I have the privilege to go and meet with farmers with my father, and we drive miles and miles and kilometers driving. And I've found love that I was looking for when I go and give hug to our farmers. You know why? They use regular cow dung manure to
traditional
fertilize.
methods.
They're still using the bullock and the plow rather than all these high-tech machineries. You know why? The farmers we work with are small 1 to 5 acre farmers.
Okay.
They're not big industrial,
Are they in the same
big farm.
area? Is there like a farm belt or a farm, basket?
Absolutely. So in the southern part of India, it's a hotbed for cotton. And just like Egyptian cotton, there's a difference between Egyptian cotton and Turkish cotton. All the textiles come from that because they're short staple cotton. What I found is, depending upon the climate conditions, like in the northern certain hubs of India, you will find a little longer staple cotton. There's a little bit more moisture into it. Okay. Why that is important is when you make them into a yarn, they are better fit for different type of knits compared to flat woven shirtings and suitings. You know what I
I
mean?
see. So they're not flat.
Oh,
They could be a little fluffy like this. It allows this
we can knit them like that.
Okay.
Because there's a little bit of heaviness to them. There's a little bit of
because this teddy bear feels fluffy. It has a lot of texture to it. It's not rough.
Absolutely.
It's very soft.
That is the beauty of it. So the organic,
that's the cotton, the variety.
Exactly. It's a long staple, and we make the pile a little higher, and it is fit for heavy knit. So to come back to what Sunny is so special is, Sunny is made is the fundamental of organic cotton of Sunny is its purity of organic cotton, 100% chemical, pesticide free. The purest of the cotton.
And here's the other thing is that you can back that up with testing. So I didn't ask you for this, although at California Baby, we have a big long list of things that we look for and documentation. And before we even asked you for documentation, you sent me a list of heavy metals that you tested for. And so not only are you saying it's organic, but you're backing it up with tests. And tell me why you do that and why that's important.
Exactly. So we follow rigorous testing set by global organic textile standards. We do
GOTS.
that at the cotton.
That short for that is GOTS, right? Global.
Correct. It's short for that is GOTS.
Textile
standard.
Okay.
Okay.
GOTS
so
certified.
we do that testing. Exactly. It's GOTS certified 100% organic cotton. Now, we do that testing not just at the textiles fabric, but also at the raw cotton layer.
Say that. What does that mean?
Okay. So, what it is, so you have the organic cotton, then it is spun and brushed, and then you go into the yarn layer.
Okay.
Yarn, and then go into dye into knitting or weaving.
Okay.
So there are many processes, right? In this
Are you
process.
looking for contaminants during that? That's what
exactly.
Because that's when it can get contaminated, right? Because
every step of the way.
Grown organically. Sorry to interrupt you, but even if it's grown organically, the finished product may have some contaminants, right? And so
correct.
I feel like this is an important thing to talk about because many companies will just say, oh, organic cotton, it's been organically grown. But as you said, it sounded like there was maybe about 7 or 8 steps to the finished product that has an opportunity for contamination.
Exactly. So I'll give you a perfect example. The organic cotton is $14 to $18 a kilo on an average.
Okay.
And I wanted to share one more thing. My peers, when we go and buy organic cotton, are all the couture companies, couture fashion. They are the ones like Laura Piana,
and do they do that for the certification or just because they know it's a higher quality?
They are doing it for the quality.
Because I don't see them saying that it's organic. So there's a higher quality to this organic process.
They're doing a disservice too by not saying that.
Okay.
But that I think this is a prevalent. The fashion French couture companies are the first line buyers. They have bought for years and years and years. Number one. Number two, they're all part of this movement, right? And first, it's the best quality. There's a reason why high-end fashion is expensive. I have a better appreciation for it. The second one, it's best in the world. The third one is they do want the certifications. They will not agree to pay $14 to $18 a kilo if just because you and I say it. You need to see every bale of cotton, right? Tons of cotton is being tested and making sure that the raw cotton is organic cotton. That is one. And we also do soil testing to make sure, right? We backdoor check it by making sure the soil. I understand, Mr. Farmer, you're
And
great.
that's really
it.
where the similarities of what you do and California Baby. Just we'll talk a little bit about why we decided to collaborate, why we decided to accept each other and work together. But I would point that out is that we test along all those stages as well. We're looking for contaminants. We're looking for consistency. We're looking for quality. We have a whole specification sheet, but I would say that's what I really love about what you're doing and why I was really excited to work with you is because you mirror what we do. Many times when we work with companies, we're giving them guidance. Are you doing this? Are you doing that? There's pushback. And so many times we won't work with that supplier, but you already were doing that. Did you figure that out yourself or did you put together that protocol?
I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I want to be very authentic. I don't agree to just because my yarn dyer said, don't worry about it. Everything is good. I don't trust that.
That actually is a red flag for me. When somebody would say that, I'm like, I need to check him.
Exactly. But the way I went about it is, thank you. I appreciate it. But before I pick up, I bring the dyes and I put that in here, do it.
Are they okay with that? Do they accept you? I'm sure you've had to build relationships to be able to do that and trust over time.
In the beginning, they didn't accept that.
But they know you're testing. Is that why you're testing? Because you just want to ensure that they're following your instructions?
Not only that, but I want California Baby customers to have absolute peace of mind knowing that, oh my God, we have gone through not just the end product in the beginning, but there are 6 to 7 layers of the steps every step of the way. By the way, it's very expensive to do that.
I know that. I know. I know. Testing.
There's also a lot of risk.
A lot of companies don't do it for that reason. But actually, I love testing because you know what you're holding here. And let me just stop and just say this is why we don't sell. We don't even just sell to a lot of companies. We don't work with a lot of companies. As California Baby, our reputation is probably that we're very picky and difficult to work with and very selective.
I say more selective and standard bearer. I don't believe it is difficult to work with. Look, if you are difficult to work with, then
you're right.
Fine,
I misspoke. Not great. Difficult. Right. High standards, very high standards.
Very high standards. There are 2 options. I just close my eyes. Ignorance is bliss. I will accept a supplier's word.
Right.
Or hold a minute. You know what I mean? It's my reputation on the line. I would rather test. And there is a issue with this. I want to know everything is hunky dory. In this process, we have rejected kilos and kilos of finished fabrics.
I can imagine. And people were very mad at you, I'm sure, as well.
In the beginning, we absorbed the losses.
Oh.
I am a believer of our approach has been from the beginning, okay, this time, one strike, I will absorb it. And I would meet with a general manager to India, and I would go every quarter, and I'll look them in the eye and say, I will forgive you. You were trying to pull. I would bring the report. I will bring the GOTS agency.
Were they surprised when they saw that you actually?
Oh, they were shocked.
That you can test for it. That you could.
Oh, the boots starts shaking a little bit, right? He caught me in the beginning. So it is like, who is this nice, well cut boy? I'm a boy for them. It is, and you know what I mean. But then I bring the GOTS executives, I bring the testers, and everything. We're sitting, hey, I forgive you so and so this time, but it's not going to work. I'm backing up the results and everything else, and I take the loss to say we use that methodology to build the trust. One time, done. Second time.
Is that a cultural way of doing things that way? Because if I went there, the way I do business would just not go well. I would be in the sense
thing
that
here is
I'm so straightforward. I don't understand those cultural, how to do that. I would never do that, actually. That's why I trust that you know how to do that.
So I'm still learning, right? I'm in a no man's land sometimes, many of the times. But I will tell you what it did for us, how I came up with this. It's through my father's advice.
Okay.
It's from my father's advice of, okay, you have to let them know that you know.
But
and
you have
then
to do it
show
subtly,
to them.
right? You can't, how do you let them know? You can't just,
Yeah. So I
you have to
utilize
save
other
face, right?
experience.
You can't just go in there.
Yeah, and I utilize my support of my general manager, who's like another father to me, who is so experienced, work with Ralph Lauren of the world,
And
managing
he's
300
in
million.
India. He is
He's in India on the ground floor.
on the ground.
He's very highly respected. So what happens is he sits down and we have the GOTS people on the phone. And so it's like, buddy, this is not going to happen again. So, and then what has happened is in the first few years, we had challenges. But later on, we started getting into a real smooth working relationship. So Sunny is an example of not just testing the cotton layer, not just at the finished layer, so many different steps, right? Because organics, it's not like polyester. There's a one-stop shop. You make it, you dye it, you spin it or weave it or knit it. No, different hands has to touch. So there's so much coordination that is going on. So that is one. To me, knowing all of that, that's what makes Sunny so special. At the core, an organic product. At the core, if a child is going to lick it, chew it, play it, hug it, put it on the skin, I can be proud of it knowing that we are bringing something, the child's BFF, best friend forever.
Yes.
A beautiful, safe memory. Would I want that as a parent? Absolutely.
Well, let's talk
Then
about
that's what I want to
makes
get.
Sunny so special, because it's really interesting to understand the business aspect, but let's talk about what parents need to know, and in the sense that what are they getting? So when you and I started collaborating on Sunny Bear, you had R&D, the plant dyes. You've been putting in a lot of work, and you debuted a lot of this with Sunny Bear, with California Baby, which I appreciate. And I know that you could have gone to anybody, but you decided to come to California Baby and say, I have this unique technology that I've been developing over the years, and I want to collaborate with you and offer it to the California Baby customer. And I wanted it to be obviously safe. That's number one. I wanted it to be beautiful. I wanted it to be of heirloom quality, so that, you could tuck this away and give it to your grandchild. Or it brings back memories, because I know with California Baby, parents will say that our calming fragrance, which is our signature scent of French lavender, that sometimes their children are older now, maybe they're in college, but they will buy that just to bring the memory back of those bath times. And so I wanted Sunny Bear to be one of those memories, and so that's how I came into this project. But then tell me if we just look at Sunny Bear and you just start let's start from the plush fur. It's got a little vintage vibe to it. It's a
Yeah.
little fuzzier. It's softer. Tell me, how did you do that? I know you use special
Okay.
enzymes and
Yeah. So let's start from the knit, right? That's a Sherpa.
this is a Sherpa. This
Sherpa,
is a Sherpa fabric. This is
Sherpa
what
knit,
we call it.
Sherpa fabric. It's a knit. So,
It's a knit. Okay.
Sherpa,
Versus a
okay,
weave.
Sherpa fabrics.
Okay.
There's a different type. There's a weave and a knit. It's
Okay.
a knit.
It's a knit.
Okay. Now,
Sunny, you're a
and
knit.
yeah, it's a knitted fabric.
Okay.
And the Sherpa fabrics, if you go to North Face or Patagonia or Carter's or any, you will see Sherpa jackets.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize that. Okay, I've seen that. Absolutely.
They're made of polyester.
But they're made of polyester. They're made of recycled bottles. I know Patagonia does that.
Recycled, but 90% of Patagonia is a trendsetter. Leave them alone.
Yeah.
That is my idol.
Me too.
And the rest of them is virgin polyester.
Okay.
But what we did is I took that because that Sherpas are the mountain K2 mountain climbers guides. Yeah. They came up with this knit model to keep them warm when they're climbing up the mountain.
Oh, what an interesting fact.
That's a great Sherpas are the guides, the mountain guides when you're climbing Kilimanjaro or K2, right? That's the whole it comes from. They're the guide. So Sunny is going to be the guide in the child's life as the child
I love
goes.
That. I did. Okay.
Exactly.
Right.
It's guiding through the darkness.
Or a mirror.
And guiding through.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, but what I wanted to do was, hey, listen, I need to make this in cotton, and it's organic cotton, and it has to be, machines have to be uncontaminated from polyester and chemicals. That's a challenge. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because oh, good Lord, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Think about it, right? So we came up with this organic cotton Sherpa knit. By the way, anybody can go, and I encourage people, right, to go and check it out and read more about it. That knit has that circular, beautiful. We also did a beautiful thing where it's like, it feels like a loop, and it has like a cereal. It's a little bit like an oatmeal loopy feel to it. What that does is, these are beautiful weighted, textured pile. That gives Sunny like a texture.
Yeah, Sunny definitely has a texture and feels like it's been loved it's brand new, but it feels new and fresh, but it feels like it's been loved for a very long time.
Cuddly. And going back to, and another one is the pattern of that Sunny, right? We don't try to put artificial smiles and extra things.
You're talking about the pattern of just the ears and the nose.
Exactly.
This is what you're talking about.
It's a classic teddy bear.
And the feet have weight to it, which is what I love.
Yep.
And same thing, this shape. So that's what I think is really beautiful about this, is that obviously you pull it out of the bag and you shipped it in this really beautiful biodegradable bag, and you pull it out of the bag, and you're going to have to
massage it a little bit.
Massage the face a little bit, because it came traveling in a box from India, and give it your life, right? Put your energy into Sunny Bear. But I see what you're saying, because there's no eyes that a child can chew on and swallow and choke on. These are all stitched with beautiful
embroidered
cotton organic fabric with a plant dye. I don't know how you got this rich kind of burgundy color. I asked for it, but I honestly didn't think you were going to be able to deliver it. Well, and I'm sorry, that's nothing personal. Right? I just thought it's kind of impossible.
Look, I am cut off the same cloth as you. If somebody says you cannot do it, you better believe it. That's all my energies are going. Just for no, I can. I figured it out. That's what I want to do.
Well, what I find is when people say it can't be done, It means that they cannot do it. That does not mean it can't be done.
Exactly. The pattern, what I think our customers are going to love, it is a classic teddy bear with the arms and the legs, and it's a little dangly. I want to see the kids just
It's actually just
holding the bear by the
perfectly
arm and just
sized
running
for
around.
a child. So that's the other thing, is that sometimes I find that bears are either small and the arms are stumpy, and it's like a little rock, and this, I can just see a child dragging it around, and it just, from every different, it just, I don't know, it's just quite perfect to me. And as I said to
Exactly.
you, when I got my final sample, I said, do you remember what I said to you? I said, I don't have anything, any suggestions. There's nothing wrong with this bear. And usually I do. I'm usually like, yeah, that's good, but can you? And I was just like, this is it. This is perfect.
And for you, so that coming from you, that is like winning the Pulitzer.
Congratulations, you just won the Pulitzer Prize. I will
I
give
mean,
you your certificate and your check next time I see you.
and the and as a creator, we're all creators. We want our customers to come back to us and say, "Oh my God, my child loves Sunny." That is like feeding us for 10 years. Your
I
stomach
agree.
feels good.
I agree.
You know,
Whenever, yes, yes. And it's a special
you,
feeling. You kind of don't know what it feels like until somebody, I have felt that with our products where people have said, it's helped my child's eczema, or it's helped, or it's just enhanced my life. And without your products, I don't know where I would be. And so I do understand what you're saying. And I think that
and from you telling me that, your representation of your customers, right? You want the best for your customers.
Well, and who
I
are my
want the best
customers?
for
My customers are the children, right? I
correct.
mean, the parents buy it, and of course we communicate, but who I think of is the child. I
Child.
see those beautiful faces, and it just would break my heart. Like, how is it that we cannot first of all, we're giving children junk, whether it's in skincare, whether it's in plush toys, and it's not just junk, it's toxic to them, which is a crime in and of itself. And how can you just not give them the very best? I mean, childhood is such a magical time. That is really when we should be spending on our children.
Absolutely. And now I want to add one other layer of this, right? It is you mentioned about the R&D and everything else. Sunny is dyed with herbal dye. What is an herbal dye, right? And
Yeah.
this, what we did is in India. I'll talk about a little bit about the background of herbal dyes and how they came about, using roots and barks and trees and leaves and berries and nuts to do a dye for Sunny. So we had been working with
Typically, it would be
labs,
synthetic. Typically, it would be a synthetic dye. Is that what you're saying?
synthetic. And we used, prior to this, and all our things have been water soluble dyes, right?
Right. So
No
low
non-toxic, water
impact, like
soluble,
a low impact
low
dye.
impact.
So there's
Very,
a
very, you're
low
right.
impact is not the same as an herbal dye.
Correct. So we had been testing with labs, and we perfected 3 colors, right? And when we came up with Sunny, a natural sunny, beautiful color, and it fits beautifully with the herbal plants and beads and roots that we're working with, experimenting with. And we and I tell you what is exciting to me is I was sitting on this dye for 1.5 years, and I refused to launch it with anybody,
One and a
even for
half
myself.
years before I called you.
It's to be candid, we had perfected that during our time when we started. I believe we started talking sometime in 2018 mid-year, and then we launched 2008, late 2018 and 2019 when we started going through the sunning. But we had come up with the formula of herbal dye, and it
So
is about, to
why
me,
did you launch your herbal dye with California Baby on Sunny Bear? Tell me why.
absolutely, this is a no-brainer for me. Number one, my children are born and they're using California Baby products.
Okay.
Okay. Number two, I have tremendous respect for you and what you have built over the past 25 years. Number three, I want to be associated with California Baby. You're the standard bearer. I'm a standard bearer. I have been brought up with authenticity to know. Tell me your friends and your associates, and I'll tell you who you are. I want to be associated with the type of a brand, integrity, and standard that I can say, that is who I am.
And I'm not
You
sure
rub
other
off on me.
companies would appreciate or tell me, the other, if you came to another company and said, oh, this is what we have, this 100% organic bear dyed with plant material and all it's certified fair trade GOTS. Would they appreciate that? They might go, oh, that's great. Now, meanwhile, I go, ooh, that's so fantastic. Like, as long as he can, sh- show the documentation that this is true, I am so in. But do you find that other companies feel the same way? What is the response, without naming names, and just in general, the attitude out there?
It's. I'll tell you, that's a question that saddens me. Um, it immediately brings my face down, and my emotions are drained. The reason is, there's a part of me, I don't want to agree to that. There's a part of me, be real, Vijay. Tell the truth. The truth is, 99% of them don't give a damn.
Even the companies that claim to be quote unquote natural, green, all of that. Because I know you've talked to a lot of companies in the industry. And
Yeah, and I do this, and I have to be a little careful.
yes, please be careful.
Yeah, and to me, what the sadness is, 99% of our customers market out. They are not my customers. The reason is they want the best, but they don't want to understand what it takes to be the best.
A lot of companies throw words around like highest quality without any real meaning. So I think that's
Yeah, it is like that's what we say, right? There's greenwashing, and then I call it also whitewashing, right? It is just marketing gimmicks. It is like we are 80% natural. What does that mean?
right, because the 20% is the hard part. That's the hard part. Yeah.
There are retailers you go, right? We're 80% natural. Sometimes I would go to the store and I'll ask them, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And I start laughing and they start laughing because they don't even know. Right? So to answer your question, there are very few people like California Baby. Okay? Let's be very honest. And California Baby customers are very special because they know their label. They know the ingredients.
We have
they
a
know
very,
the
very educated consumer. They know how to read the label. And that was one of the things, just to interrupt you, and because just to show that we are aligned again, is that one of my main goals when I started California Baby was to educate the consumer, right? I feel like if they were educated, they will make the choice of California Baby. You don't have to trick your consumer by marketing terms and greenwashing and fluff. If you just give them the straight story, explain, why it's more expensive, what the damage is, they will get it. The California Baby customer appreciates this. And actually, we launched Sunny, and our customers embraced it and were just so excited about it and buying multiples and buying it for friends. And so it's interesting with the customer, they know when something is authentic.
And that makes me emotional. That gives me, that makes me emotional. That is priceless. It's not about money. Um, that's special. That's what makes me emotional.
Well, and also I think what you're feeling is the enormity of what you have accomplished, right? I know it's hard to take the compliment. I know that for me, for the first 15 years of California Baby, I just because I wasn't done, the compliment, I wasn't ready to accept the compliment, and so maybe it's a little bit premature for you. Because now for me, I've been able to look back and say, wow, I did do something special. We are at California Baby. Our team is doing something special. And, my
It's a
hope is,
legacy.
well, it's a legacy. And what I like about you is that I don't think that you will cut corners. I just don't think it's possible. I mean, of course, you back that up with testing, right? So I'm not going to just take your word for it. You know that. And so I love that on top of it. And because we're trying to do, as I said previously, just because somebody says it can't be done, it means that they can't do it. And I think that you've proven that you can make a 100% organic plush toy for our children that's dyed with plants, that uses recycled polyfill in as the stuffing, and that you can document it along the way. You aren't afraid to have certifiers come and check your process. And I just think that that's incredible and it's wonderful. And I think, and I know that you and I have talked, and it's a little bit of a lonely journey because you're out there in front on your own. But I do want to compliment you and say that you're going the right direction, and I wouldn't have joined forces with you if I didn't believe that.
There's the final aspect. I think what it all brings, what Sunny there, and this one is for mothers and the fathers and the gift givers and the grandpas and the nanas and the nannies.
Okay.
To me, what Sunny is going to be as a gift giver is ethics. How is Sunny made? To me, why we are one of 330 companies in the world to be World Fair Trade certified as a member. From farm to fulfillment, we ensure World Fair Trade practices. What does that mean? Let's just simplify it. Very simple, right? To me, in humble words, it is, if I worked in a place and if it was 100 degrees outside, would I want some fresh air and air conditioning or some cooler temperatures? I raise my hand. Yes. If I worked in a place, it was very cold outside, would I want some heat? Oh, yes. If I worked in a place, would I want solid 1 hour lunchtime? Yeah. If I worked in a place, would I want clean drinking water? Yes. Would I want to work in a place where I come at a time and I leave on time and it is 8 hour working? So the answer is yes. Would I work in a place where I need to be paid fair living wage?
I think
not the minimum wage.
Americans might say they have an assumption that that happens, and I don't think around the world it does happen, right? So when I hear you say that, it's kind of like, yeah, of course. But you're telling me that that doesn't happen in the rest of the world. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
This is giving a family, on the other side of the world, food in their mouth and a living and all of that. So that's part of the fair.
And they're getting paid very fair, higher than normal living wages. And they're being treated like a fellow human being rather than you can work 14 hours and make more money or you can go home. Oh, by the way, we don't have work for you today, so no money for you. That means
or children,
you can feed your kids.
I know in other parts of the country,
or children.
They've got children labor.
90% of the plush toys in the world are made by kids.
I don't know
that
that
is
moms
polyester.
and dads know that. I mean, I know we hear about that, but.
Absolutely. So, but our California Baby Sunny walks into your home. You can be assured of one thing is not only it's a beautiful plush and the gift and the heirloom, all the goodness come with it, but you know what? Sunny is creating karmic, holistic vitality for other fellow human beings who are getting jobs and have a job and they can live and they have a dream of sending their children to school.
That is
It's a
so
mother's
cool.
dream.
That's the super cool cherry on top. I think we've covered a lot of ground, and I love your passion, and I love your ethics, and I love what you're able to do, and I appreciate it. And thank you for your time today. And we'll talk again as we have other collaborations in the making. Correct?
Thank you. Appreciate it. You're awesome. Bye.
Thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.